Hello everybody, Collier Swecker in Birmingham, Alabama. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Wanted to touch base with everybody about closing attorneys and who selects them, the title insurance and that sort of thing under Alabama state law. And you know what is a real issue here in Birmingham? There's been this myth for all these years here in Birmingham that the seller decides who picks the closing attorney. And that couldn't be farther from any codified law of any kind. It's not in any document. There's a lot of realtors with Realty South in particular, who also has a title company, and those guys are always adamant about using Title South because it's their own. And really, I always ask them, can you show me where it says that the seller chooses the attorney? Because everybody's got to remember the closing attorney it represents the bank, the lender in the transaction, and as such the lender ultimately can decide who closes the transaction. Both sides are able to have their own representation if they like. Happens rarely, but they're allowed to have own attorneys be present at that closing and review all the documents. But ultimately the lender is the one being represented, and you probably have signed documents like that. But a lot of times the agents obviously want to help out their service providers or their closing attorneys that they know and trust. But what I think these Birmingham real estate agents have got to understand is that almost everywhere else in the state of Alabama, the buyer chooses. And let's talk about why. That if you really were to look at the closest nexus or closest connection from that lender to the transaction, it's through the buyer, and the buyer is the one that ultimately will face the consequences if that lender's attorney makes a mistake. And I think until this myth is broken here in Birmingham, agents will continually have this dispute when it comes to contract writing on who gets to choose. And I think agents got to be, and brokers in particular, got to be real careful when they have their own closing company like Realty South does. Be real careful about making sure that they explain to their sellers and their buyers that they got a choice in this. That it's their choice ultimately of where it closes from. It is not ultimately up to the agent. Ultimately, it's up to the lender. And the lenders, as a courtesy, here in Birmingham, typically will allow the agents to decide as long as they're on an approved list with these banks. So anyway, just wanted to clarify that because there's a lot of misinformation out there. I hope a lot of the realtors here in Birmingham will actually watch this video because I think they'll learn something. So anyway, if you got questions, comments, email me, Collier@megaagentrealestate.com. Have an awesome day.